Hello and welcome. Most generic intro ever. Um, I am Ben. Welcome to the Clodcast, and we're gonna recap what happened in Week 5 of the CPL Pokemon Draft League. I am here with the lovely Brit, Roy,
Hey guys, what's up?
and yeah, that's it already. It's a two-man today. Dakota might join later, but we are recording pretty late again, so it is unfortunately not the time for most Europeans to join in,
And all Americans are still asleep as well.
basically. Anyways, as usual, we're going to go through three matches of each division, and we're going to start with Zepstrike and Dom versus Martin in Claude.
I feel like I remember this battle. I think I watched nearly every battle this week, to be fair.
This Colossal, by the way, put in so much work, like has put in so much
Mm.
work over the last few weeks for Martin. It's insane.
Yeah, it's done a really good job. I remember that Seb mentioned this was Resto Chesto Tingling, which explains some of their play.
Yeah,
Ruination, very nice.
here comes Zapdos and gets burned immediately,
Goldburn's a bit the burn's a bit rough just because it will basically put it in range for stuff a lot easier.
and a Hurricane Miss.
That honestly, I know this is gonna sound weird. I don't think that miss mattered, just because Screamtail probably takes at least three of these hurricanes.
Probably.
That's a good bring. But I will say this: admit what the hurricane miss did lead to is Martin being able to click encore for free.
Yep. And now Colossal also getting HP back through Screamtail. Here's the spin to get rid of the spike.
Yep.
So far, Martin not really making any mistakes. Rock Tomb as well. Interesting.
Yeah. Walton's. I don't hate the bring, to be fair. You're never killing Slapdos really, like unless you get very lucky or like have a very powerful attacker or get a crit. So especially when it's defensive. So Rock Tomb kind of works.
I guess so, yeah. Tinglu comes back in. Rillaboom, okay.
I wonder if that was a turn to click like rest there, but maybe that's a bit early.
Interesting. I'm guessing the wheezing is covert then. The wheezing is supposed to be like the Sneasler answer.
I think it would be. Honestly, I kind of agree with heavy duty boots on the Zapdos here in this matchup.
Yeah.
And then because also as well, though actually to be fair, Covert Cloak would block out Psychic Noise, so it would have been able to roost and live.
Mm.
But I think Louisen's a better answer to Sneasler in this matchup than Zapdos is. Zapdos can just hardwall the Rillaboom,
Oh yeah.
but then again, because he also takes 25% of rocks, and rocks are legit in this matchup. So I kind of get the heavy duty boots. Covert though could also actually two Covert Cloaks actually isn't the worst shout. Thinking about it.
No AV Metagross. Not AV anymore, but
AV was a good bring, I think.
it makes sense. Damn, those heavy
Yeah, means you
slams
can deal with
hurt.
yeah, this thing's a fat boy.
Oh, that's a nice
Oh,
bring.
grass knot.
That is
That's
a nice
sweet. Yeah, I
bring.
like that. Yeah, this is definitely covert.
Yeah. With how aggressively it came in on Sneasler, it's immediately like, okay, it's Covert Cloak.
Yeah,
Oh damn.
because
No
I mean,
XP. That is a rare thing to see, and a 0 XP
yeah,
exchange from Pain Split.
it's like race split. No, we're ready split. Stop it. Honestly, the only other thing they could have brought in bet on this season would be Tinglu, but even then you have to switch out anyway because they can then click close combat. But you can also scout if they're scarf or like locked in. Okay, this is the turn where he should have restoed, in my opinion. This was where you resto.
I think so, yeah.
I think this is because Spikes is a mistake. I think Seb knows this as well. That was a turn. That was your best turn to rest.
Yeah, after it's gonna be hard to bring in the Tinglu afterwards, like because we don't know fourth move on Screamtail, which might be Dazzling Gleam, so everything except for Colossal like threatens a kill on you now.
Mm.
So Tinglu's
Yeah,
just gonna be in a situation where it won't be able to press rest anymore.
yeah. Honestly, I think that was the point. You just let it go. I think you should just let. I think you should. This feels like a very risky switch. I don't like the switch at all. And yeah, that you basically got punished. That honestly, I think you just. I think they should have sat the Tinglu. If you
Mm.
hadn't, it didn't rest on the turn where the Dragapult was -2 special attack. There's no other point when you're going to get to rest off, unfortunately.
Oh, the Muse Lumberry also
So it's
gets
just there
eaten
at
up
that
here.
point.
Ooh,
I don't think
okay.
that was that bad for it because everything else it doesn't isn't gonna is be enough to paralyze it unless it's hitting Colossal with a physical move, which I
Mm.
don't think it a contact move, so I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
But it's still not nice.
In comes Sneasler again, and it's looking dire for Switch End right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
just takes one.
And
Okay.
it gets a power as well.
That
By the way,
crit plus para, that's yikes.
I feel like it has procs on every mon that hasn't run a covert cloak.
Yeah, like we have a poison here, a poison was on mute, a para here. Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I don't hate that actually, to be honest. Though I was questioning it a bit.
I mean,
Moonblast kills.
yeah.
That was questionable. Unless it might have been a roll. It might have been a roll, to be fair to Seb there.
Hmm. Okay, now they go
No, it wasn't
play
a
Insane.
roll.
I guess they were trying to resto up. That was the play they
Yeah,
were trying to do.
which I half get, but I feel like this, if you were going to rest up, the time was to do it way early in the game.
Yeah. Here.
And Martin saved diff there as well.
Yeah, Martin saved diff with that para. A little bit unlucky for Zeb, but like the misplay was not resting earlier on Tinglu because you could have really used that Tinglu in the end game here.
There was definitely some hacks that went against him, but this is one of those matches where if Seb and to be honest, Seb probably knows this as well. I think Seb even admitted in post game those things he should have done better. If Seb played better, he might have been able to turn that game around, even with the hacks.
Yeah, definitely. But it is a part of the game, so
Yeah, you just have to adapt to it.
yeah. If he rested earlier, I think the game looked better for him, but we can never tell. Like obviously the game is like a whole different will have a whole different pace from the moment Tinglu is back at full again.
Mm.
Next up, we have the battle of the Mexicans. It's Emilio
Oh
versus
yeah,
Taco.
I think we agreed to read. I agreed to read the chat as well, or whatever the fuck they're posting this. This should be interesting. If they've put any slurs in chat, I'm not reading them. Good luck, have fun. After this, let's get naked and sleep in bed together and have a family. Fuck yes, woo face. All right, what am I reading, boys? Luster is all of us.
This is so
Mirror
peak.
match.
Look at these two, Shifu and Shifu violence. And then two drooling smileys.
Jesus fucking Christ. These two horn dogs.
Those two should just get a room at this point.
They, they really should. They should just get over done with and fuck. By the way,
Oh,
on Clodcast, we stand for like LGBT representation, so we just want these two to get over with and fuck like they want to. If you win, Emilio, you have Chris high five. That's nice.
Encore.
Yeah, nice. That's a nice bring by Emilio.
Two sexy motherfuckers playing. Oh my
Tuesday, team.
god. Orgon Org action. Could
Hogan,
get
Hogan.
more rated, not PG. Yo, Black Talk Shaker 2. Got that Zoro H. Fire.
Interesting sword stance there by Emilio.
Yeah, and I guess Emilio had to scout the scarf. So that's why they switched.
Yeah. Oh no, the switch makes sense. I just don't know if I like the sword stance, knowing that's a possibility. What
Um,
was this play?
that seems like a okay. I guess it pays off.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, no. I
Aerodactyl
guess
killed
they were calling.
W.
I think they were calling the switch, and that's why they went for it.
It would go to Yuxi, but let's lie. Oracle trust real. Yeah, was gonna stop. Yeah, who's gonna stop us? I won't snitch if you don't.
Me,
Deal.
I updated the doc. It was me. So nice try, kids. Since to be fair, and this is meant with love to Emilio and Taco. It's not Taco. So Emilio and Ordinary. Neither of them update the doc ever.
Wait, why? Emilio, why did you just sack your... Huh?
Yeah, Emilio's just making bizarre plays this game.
Why did you sack the Shifu? Tech word, yes, holy shit, crunch. I was expecting gravity, said fam, not crunch lol. It's hilarious because I was thinking of bringing that shit on my landers, Lamau.
I mean, Crunch is good tech here. I think Crunch or like well, Gravity doesn't really work that well in this matchup. Crunch is actually better.
Mm. Okay,
I mean,
Terra
this
normal,
matchup
head
anyway.
smash. Yep. What happened? What happens do we think finishes first? This game or me getting through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru? I would hope that drive-thru. It's pretty backed up right now.
I think I watched this game live, and I don't think I don't think Emilio was actually as slow as normal. So that's probably why they made mistakes.
Yep. And
Oh,
now Taco just goes K9 again and picks up the
yeah.
E-speed kill. GG and GG, man.
Honestly, it was never really in doubt this game. Taco was in control from the start. I think Emilio made some questionable choices.
I feel like the moment like Emilio got back into like the driver's seat once he got like killed the Urshifu on Taco, but he gave
Mm.
that lead up very quickly.
Yeah, like I to be fair, Emilio's focus is mostly. I will be real, and I think he does this as a joke, but generally his focus is right now on VGC. So I think his play has definitely dipped a bit because he's trying to make Kyogre Station work. So hey, we might see him live on a VGC stream very soon.
Yeah. Which brings us to the last Cloudfire game, which is Aaron versus Nate.
This was a game that Jakota nearly didn't have on here.
Yep. Tornadoes versus Gliscor, and this Gliscor getting the Emilio treatment, never getting the toxic heal
Aaron,
off.
I know you love Emilio, but you don't need to play like him. Okay, that was okay. Emilio would have done that, to be fair.
And immediately Espeon gets abused as well.
Yep, Espeon's gone. Listen, as much as people have been memeing on our believer, it is a legit Terramon. It's just never going to get you kills.
It's just gonna be annoying as fuck.
It's also not. Yeah, that's what it's there for. I mean, I've gotten killed. It was like in I think in more Pico Manus, like my third in kill leader, but that wasn't for me trying to get kills on it. It was just annoying as fuck and just got a bunch of kills like spare. Also, Aaron loves the Limousin so much. In my VGC team, I've nicknamed it Aaron.
Okay, Glare. Purifying Salt. Terra Grass into Dragon Dance, okay.
Grass, I really do like in this matchup.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
Zygarde's Covert, okay.
that's a good bring. What you really kind of need, though, here, in my opinion, over Dragon Dance is probably a special move to hit.
Like, I
Because,
think
yeah,
Zygarde gets Sludge Wave like for the specific Terra Grass Garg, which personally I think was pretty obvious, but you could argue against it, I know.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I love the. Yeah, Rest is just not going to work here as a strategy.
Yep, there goes Zygarde. In comes Tornado.
I think that. I think there's a better set you can bring in prep to deal with the Garg there, in my opinion. But
Yep.
that might be hindsight 2020, innit?
Bleak Wind into Knock, okay. No more Boots Gouging. Getting an Arboliva now.
I believe it probably takes one of these.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seed Sower into Strength Sap to get back to full. And now there's the Leech Seed, so this gouging is just gonna be under a lot of pain currently. And they switched out.
Yeah, so he needs to switch out.
Yeah, that was the right play. And here's the Encore.
Very nice.
Illumise doing what Illumise needs to do. Just being an annoying shit. Here, going for the
Okay,
Bleak Wind.
so this is one of the few matchups I can see the benefit of Bleak Wind, and the reason I say that is because if you get the speed drop on Gouge and Fire, it can actually stop itself. That crit mattered.
Yeah,
That was crit was big.
mattered, yeah.
This is one of the only times I will justify a Bleak Wind as because I think they're running Hurricane and Bleak Wind, aren't they?
Trick Room weakness policy.
This is sick.
Yeah, this is very sick. This Diancie is about to pop off. Protect to stall. Great play.
That's a very good play there.
Vaporeon survives, yeah. Hazes.
Hayes. Okay, Hayes is very good. Yeah, nice bring by Aaron there, to be fair, to
Yep.
stop himself losing to the set.
Here comes Gyarados now. Megas immediately and goes for a Dragon Dance.
Honestly, I would love a flip to him into Illumise. Oh no, Illumise can't. Don't go Illumise. I'm stupid.
Temper Flare.
Temper Flare does a lot there.
Yep. But now they are out of kill range, so they bring it back in the Diancie. Because that body press would have killed the Gyarados for sure.
Oh yeah, not even a debate.
Gyarados comes back in though immediately. Flip turn.
I think there's only way they can because I can't see Tornadus doing enough damage even with Hurricane to win.
Okay.
Damn, I was rooting for Illumise to get the air kill there.
Ooh, okay. Down goes Gar.
This is
1 HP. Yeah, that's a misplay from Aaron.
Yeah, I don't think you were in range to do that.
Wow.
Oh no, never mind. No,
Still survives.
No, Aaron knows better than us.
Aaron knows better.
Aaron knows better than us. My apologies. He knows his roles.
Down goes Gyarados. So this needs to be the
Hover
Tornado show now.
Hover over Torn. Just to make sure, I feel like it's got Hurricane and Bleak Wind. Okay, no, it's got Bleak Wind. Okay, never mind. I mean, I actually, this is one of the few matchups I justify Bleak Wind.
Oh, it's covered.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
wow.
very
They
nice.
got the
I like
speed
that.
drop as well on the Bleak Wind. Oh, okay. Triple Axel hits only one time, so it didn't even matter. Okay. So this Torn might still win.
Yeah, Torn actually has a chance to win this. Honestly, I kind of respect the brain.
Okay, down goes Illumise. So it's Vaporeon versus the world now. U-turn.
Okay. Don't hate it to get more regen health. So I feel like Vaporeon's only attack is flip turn.
It might be.
So this becomes an interesting game.
Wish, okay.
Speed up doesn't really matter.
Knocks off the boots, okay. Yeah, it's only flip turn. So now it depends on if this Tauren can kill this Vaporeon, and it looks like it cannot.
It really cannot. I don't know. Honestly, I mean, with respect, the utmost respect, how much is knock off in it? Yeah, I feel like you probably should have been clicking Bleak Wind sooner. I mean, it doesn't really change anything. You lose anyway, but.
Yeah. Well played from
Very nice round.
Aaron at the end, yeah. Keeping the Vaporeon alive was pretty huge at the end game when there's only special attackers left.
We will see it in another game, but sometimes there's such a thing as so like people do often focus on offensive win cons, but I found sometimes as well myself. Sometimes you will have a defensive win con that they just can't break, and it's not being stally. It's just they legitimately can't break you, and you can just slowly kill them down.
Yeah. I mean, the crit on Arboliva sucked. We don't know how much that would have changed, obviously. Since immediately after Diancie came in and did the Trick Room shit. So, it would probably be a whole different game, but yeah, that's just part of it. Which now brings us to the stats of the rest of the Clodcast game. Now then, we had Fluvy versus Blast and Dash, which was also a very good watch, but a little bit hacksy on. No, that wasn't a hacksy game. That was the game Swaggery had versus Fluvy. That was hacksy.
That was so hacksy, that game.
Yeah, so Swaggery and Fluvy did make up their game. Fluvy lost, sadly, to a good amount of hacks, and Swaggery obviously capitalized on that. Then we had Fury versus Fluvy, which was a really close game, as you can see.
Mm. Meowscroller put out in the end.
Yeah. Nut versus Star Maiden was an FF win for Nut because Star Maiden was MIA this week. They are back. They were just very busy, apparently.
Yeah.
Then, two of these games we watched. We had Spike versus Arrow, which was Spike's first loss, actually, which Arrow played that game very well.
You right to scroll down so I can see it on the screen. So I think I remember watching this one.
Here.
Yeah. Oh no, but I can't see it.
You should be able to. It's literally.
Oh no, I can only see Nate versus Aaron at the moment as the bottom one on my screen. Oh, there you go. It's loading. There we go. That's better.
Okay. Somehow it was just not updated on this screencast. Anyway, yeah. Spike versus Arrow. Spike lost, and we know why he lost. He didn't bring Luxray.
Yeah, Luxray would have made the difference there.
Exactly.
Clear Amulet, Luxray goes in.
We had Order versus Waggery, which was a Palafin show in the end game, because Palafin is a bulky motherfucker, quote by Swaggery.
Yep. Yeah, Chappie Finney did some decent work with breaking with choice specs on Moonblast.
Yeah. Then we have Martin versus Zeb, which we did watch, and BGC versus Embiid, which you can see 5 Iron Bundle kills. It should be pretty self-explanatory what happened in this game. Although
Iron Bundle moment, basically.
It does look a little bit worse, and it was a little closer than it actually looked. So
yeah, it wasn't a complete thrashing. It was just one of those games that once Iron Bundle was basically in range position, it just swept. Whereas a couple of things might have gone Embiid's way, he might have won the game.
Yeah. Now then, we jump back to the battles. We will jump to Quagsire, which the first game we have is Jakoto versus Harry.
Oh, there is something I want to say here, which would be funny if Jakoto was here, but there's a moment in game where I think as well, I'm like, Jakoto, how did you not spot this? We'll get to it when we get to it, but like, it's kind of obvious. Like, maybe it's hindsight. Wolf is quite funny.
Terra Ghost Whirlpool Wishcash lead. This is all this Wishcash is going to do, probably.
Yeah, no, this Wishcast is just it. Honestly, this Wishcast was just never meant to work. Gets crit as well.
Yep. Oh my god, poor Wishcash.
It's basically doing like nothing to this Rain Dance setup is quite a cool tech here.
Yep.
So the idea behind this was so basically Mega Sizzle could set up and basically go ham with Source Dance. That miss is rough.
Yeah, that first leech seed miss is very rough. Which leads now to
I'm surprised that I am surprised that no talk of it, to be fair. Though Terrifier File Plume does make sense. Also, noticeably no Intimidate on Gyarados, it's Moxie.
Yeah. Also, Sun wasn't.
That is.
Like Torkoal, no Torkoal, no Sun.
Yeah. Surprising in my opinion.
Yeah. In comes Leo.
Yeah.
Which does a good chunk with Power Gem.
Yeah, decent. So that's not a female metal.
Yeah. It's a rest. Resto Chesto Melmetal. Interesting that they went for that so early.
Yeah, it does seem a bit early to go for it. Bye Gyarados.
In comes Vileplume.
Yeah, I don't hate Farpoon coming out here.
That
Does a
energy ball
decent
that,
amount, to be fair.
considering how especially bulky Nihilego is, yeah, that does a decent chunk.
Yeah. So that's a decent amount. Honestly, the 50-50. So this is an interesting 50-50 here. And I want to point something out after this turn. So I don't think a freeze dry definitely a freeze dry and ice. I don't think kill if it tears fires. I think Hydro Pump, depending on Fileplume's investment, might kill even if they don't Terra. So I lean towards sticking Hydro Pump here as well. I'd have to calc it because I'm not that familiar with Fileplume calcs.
Yeah, in comes
Crit
the
did not matter, by the way.
Hydro Pump into
Right.
Terrifier.
Can I make a point here about this? Okay. So at this point, look at what's left on Harry's team and look what's left on Dakota's team. What answers does he have outside of Fire Punch on Iron Hands to get rid of Mega Sizzle? Because Melmetal doesn't get Fire Punch. Mega Arrow does get Fire Fang, but if you get a Swords Dance up, you're just killing that with Bullet Punch anyway.
Yep.
So all Dakota needs to really win this game is a Will-O-Wisp on the Iron Hands.
Exactly. Misses a Hydro Pump here.
And don't get me wrong, this is rough. But honestly, I don't. I think all this did was maybe reduce diff slightly. But honestly, I don't. The Hydro Pump misses didn't actually matter because Jacobo thought it was GG, but I don't think he realized his actual win con was this. And actually, those misses might have benefited him because now this is burned. He can keep saying Hydro Pump, which is quite funny. I'm not gonna lie. But being serious, I think the misses benefited him because it meant he could set up on a burned Iron Hands and go for game. Those misses actually kind of helped him, weirdly enough, because like he gets the roost here for free, and Fire Punch is doing like that.
Yep.
Like generally, I think those misses helped him. This is one of the weirder times when the hacks against you, that was close. That was a roll, to be fair. The hacks against him actually helped him. It was so weird to say, but I think Dakota benefited from hacks against him this week.
It is a rare scenario when stuff like that happens, but as we can see, it happens here.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I can certainly see why Dakota missed that their actual win con was to get a burn on the Iron Hands because it may accept Francis to the Mega Sizzle because it's very obvious in hindsight. And when you're in the game and you're missing Hydro Pump twice, you're like, for fuck's sake. But it ironically kind of worked out for him because now I feel like Melmetal dies to close combat.
Yeah,
We would
because
have
we
to
saw
double
its
check
chest,
here.
though, so it is definitely not Choppel.
Yeah. And we know Mega Arrow is going to die straight away to a Bullet Punch.
Yep. You could argue here Harry had a little bit of bad luck, because how many Fire Punches did he click and not get a burn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Fire Punches without a burn.
In fairness, it is a 10% chance.
Yeah.
So one, if he hit 10 times, I'd be like a bit more like, but there it's just like.
Imagine he was Sword Stance on that, though.
Oh, if he Swords Dance, it's game over.
Yep.
Like, to be fair, if he was Swords Dance, it's over.
Yep. Anyways, yeah, Dakota won the game with some, I guess, hacks for him, but also hacks against him. In that sense.
I mean, technically, we should give the Pokemon of the week to Brown Wash over Mega Sizzle. One, because it'd be funny and wind him up, and two, because it enabled the win.
Yeah. Next up, we have Rena versus Will Owl.
Oh, I remember this game. I think so, anyway. Whammo swine. I don't hate fake outs as like a first in need.
Thunder waving the Victini, very nice.
Honestly, the fact that no, wait, that's surprising. By the way, Rotom is outsped the Victini.
Yep,
So that's a bulky Victini.
Yep, it is subtoxic.
That is honestly, I respect it. Oh, that's
Missable
rough.
strike.
That's like 4% or something ridiculous.
Ah, there is Jakoto. We just
Oh, we
watched your
just talked about your
game.
game chair.
Oh dang! What a shame. I got a couple minutes to spare.
It's like I basically said how shit you were.
Yeah, facts.
No, I actually I did a comment. I think actually the hacks actually you got to get the hydro pump misses might have actually made it better for you because it led you into a situation where you burned the iron hands and then it was game over from there because they couldn't break your mega sizzle.
I mean, I don't think it makes it if.
Oh, this
I don't know if you
was
get. I don't know if you
scary.
can. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can set mega sizzle on anything else really. To be fair,
I mean,
well,
I
not mega
just don't
arrow
think
anyway.
I don't think I have to set up Mega Scizor if I just kill everything with my hydro pumps.
Huh?
If that makes sense.
That makes some sense, but
By the way, why did Will run Dragon Dance here over Totemize? If they are
agreed.
weakness policy? Because since you
I
run Dragon Dance, you like I think do you like if you get a +2, do you not outspeed the Valiant? Even with
you
booster
should
speed?
do. I think it. Yes, I think if they're boosted speed, you can outspeed a Scarf Valiant, which is the calc I go for with it. So I agree. Tom Knight is a better bring. I get why someone who I think he's a newer player, so I get why he might not have seen Encore Iron Valiant as a possible bring. But it's something I would recommend respect. But maybe it's because I play VGC now and I'm in like a for fun league where I bring Iron Man as a support mod more often than not, so I know it gets encore, gets a load of wide support. So I can see why someone who's not as experienced would miss that. But I agree, Tom Nice is better.
No, there's a Scarf Mamoswine instead of a Choice Bands Mamoswine.
Mm.
Ouch. Ouch. Yep, that's still. Oh
That's
wow,
good.
that did nothing.
That is why you by the way, guys, this is why you double check in the calc about moves like low kick. The Sinister is about yay high. It is very light. You're actually better off with kicking knockoff there. Low kick is probably the bring though for the Mammoth Swine, to be fair.
Yep.
So it's not a bad bring. It's just bad on that mon. Hex is a nice bring into a low score.
Here Sinister now goes down, so Weavile has pretty much free roam now.
Hello again.
In comes the Scarf Mamoswine
Oh,
again.
Shadow time. Goodbye, Sev. Honestly, Downwise here just cleans up at this point.
Yep.
X. I feel like what Photon Geyser does more damage than X Scissor. I don't know why you're clicking X Scissor. I mean, maybe he's forgetting that Ghost resists bug. Unless he's not running Photon Geyser, which would be very weird.
Yeah. Zoro goes down, and now it is Mamoswine versus Weavile and.
Second minor Seb cameo if you didn't hear me the first time.
Yep, there's the Zap cameo.
We didn't hear it the first time. We didn't even hear it the first time.
Now,
That worked out.
the crash misses. If the crash hit and flinched, I think Will probably wins, but that's like relying on hacks.
Yeah, it's relying on hacks. Like, live by the hacks, die by the hacks.
Yep. I feel like
But
the game was played well by Will. Like, probably the one thing I
yeah.
would have changed, obviously, is Autotomize over Dragon Dance, since if you're playing weakness policy, you're like, I don't see the reason to go for Dragon Dance, because rarely you will need a +3 to kill something.
Yeah, it would. I would have to see calcs, but looking at Rena's team, the only thing I can think of maybe is the glide score. But what does the glide score do back? If that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're probably better. Yeah, you're better off running a Tom Lies. I also could see someone who's also new and not realizing that. Oh, they could run booster speed, Iron Valiant, and an Encore.
Yep. Anyways, this brings us to the last Quagsire game. It's me versus Brebon. Yep. It is me who is on a 3-game losing streak versus Brebon, who has not lost a game at that point yet.
And you're facing the ultimate Haxamon.
Yep, Sneasler. Which I hate Sneasler for anybody who doesn't know.
I mean, to be honest, I love Sneasler, but honestly, I'm in the camp where I'm not against banning Dialog because it's the dumbest move in the fucking history of mankind.
Yep.
And I will abuse it. Don't get me wrong. If I ever draft it, I abuse the fuck out of Dialog, but that move is so fucking dumb.
This Donphan was, by the way, specifically made to beat a Sword Stance Talonflame. So, since Talonflame didn't come, I was like, okay, Donphan is pretty. I can just throw Donphan away most of the time.
Honestly, this is a very good bring on their part with the sub. I respect it.
Yep. Here they
Good
go
bring.
for another sub. I get recovery again.
I will say this: I am shocked that they didn't bring Talonflame because Talonflame was so good into you as well. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
actually hit like a fucking truck.
Here I just keep repeating the process all over again. They are clear amulet to avoid the stat drops from King Shield, which is interesting.
I respect it. So it's probably Poison Touch as well.
Yeah. Here we go, Donphan again.
Crit
Since
annoying.
Donphan is like I mentioned before, Donphan is like very throwaway. Quillfish was my Kartana answer because they need to click Smart Strike to do a lot of damage. With -1, they don't do that much. And I just like get free spikes all the time since they did not bring any removal.
Yeah.
Here I'm like, okay, I'm fine with letting this Donphan go down now, which they do finally kill Donphan, and after that I can just bring in Torn, which outspeeds this Sneasler. And I press Slash Bomb since it would have killed the Sneasler, and it is my best move into Belly Bolt.
And also if you get the poison off, that's actually quite handy for you because it makes Bellbolt in range of a lot more stuff.
Yeah. They click Slack off. I pivot between Mons. Ogre Pawn is now in. I click U-turn on the Hydrapple because I don't want to get killed by it immediately. Hydreigon was my most sackable mon at this point, so I decided to just let it go. Because
That's fair.
Because both Sneasler and Kartana, which Hydreigon was meant to beat, are very low, so I was fine with sacking it at this point. Here I bring out Ogre Pawn now, and I click Hard Eye Cudgel, which does bring this Belly Bolt into a range of, with Spikes and Sludge Bomb, it dies.
Yeah. That's why I like the agriculture there. And honestly, stacking it here to get this low as well is very handy for you.
Yeah. Now Sneasler dies.
Right, stack as well on their part.
And here for me it is an important thing to find out if this is Specs or Scarf. So at this point I'm like, okay, let's see, do they stay in? Okay, they do stay in. They click Shadow Ball, which means I cannot go Aegislash. I go Quillfish. And this happens. Critical hit plus Spidef drop.
That's so rough.
Yeah.
Like, that is actually one of the rougher ones I've seen for a while. Because one or the other's fine. You can still get around it and, like, Pain Split. But you are Pain Split, aren't you?
I think so, yeah.
But, like, both of them puts it in range. Like, also, that's why I like the Scarf. And also, at this point, you're pretty certain at Scarf now as well. So it means you can't just fully switch it to Torn either.
Yep. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, Quillfish, you can go down. And I bring in Torn because they are locked into Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball does nothing to Torn. I missed this Hurricane, which is not too important because this Kartana is not faster than me.
Yeah. See, that's a Hurricane you can afford to miss.
Yeah. And
this is the one you can't.
Yeah. And now we're at a point where a Hurricane can kill this Belly Bolt. And I'm just hoping I get the range, which I do. Because if I got a low roll, I would not have killed.
Yeah, and it's game over at that point. I don't think you win if you don't get that roll.
Yeah, in comes Tinglu, which gets confused, misses the Stone Edge, which the Stone Edge can kill if he has like a little bit of offensive investment, so that is quite unfortunate.
Actually, no, I think the miss is rough, not because of that, but because it makes it very hard for you then to be basically out of range of stuff that Tapu Lele can click. And then if you get the wrong way around prediction wise, they might be able to kill your Torm.
Yeah.
That's why it's rough. I think it's getting in range because of regen.
Yeah. Here, I decide to switch out Torn and sack Ogerpon just to see what they click. They decide to go for the Psyshock. I'm like, okay, I can live a Psyshock with Torn. So only thing I need to do is now hit the Sludge Bomb on Tapu Lele, and this Hydrapple comes in, takes spikes, and dies to a Sludge Bomb as well. So
yeah, because your specs on the Torn for
the
context as
Torn
well.
specs. So I don't remember the full calc, but max special defense Hydrapple might have lived that if it's AV as well. But fuck, do I know?
I think it needs AV. As someone who knows Torn calcs and Hydrapple calcs well, I think it needs AV, and it's still a roll probably on the range it was in. Because Torn is underratedly strong special attack wise.
Yeah.
But no, you played well.
Yeah.
You played pretty well, dude.
I mean, I did have to make some hard sacks, but that's just how it is gonna happen against the nature of Brevon's team, because Brevon's team is a scary thing.
It is very scary. I got absolutely mollywopped by it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. We're gonna go to Quagsire stats later. We're immediately gonna jump into Wooper games.
Yeah.
Where we have.
Oh, this is fun.
Pate versus Richard, aka Face Rich, aka Cartel Goku fan.
Honestly, there's not really much to analyze here. Okay.
It's just a prep mistake from Pate. Like, okay, they toxic Garchomp here. It's a good play. They bring in their own Garchomp, which okay, I guess.
Yeah, they're Mega Chomp, by the way.
Yeah,
Icy.
this is not Chomp, as you can see. It is Zoroark, which clicks Icy Wind.
Okay, that's fine. I actually was actually just my. Yeah, this dies. This is not even living.
It does though.
Oh, it lives.
But it doesn't come back.
So Pate doesn't have a single piece of removal, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Pate was advised by Gamer Found to bring Defog because Gamer predicted the Chomp being a defensive Chomp with hazards. Pate ignored that.
Yeah.
So these hazards that are on Pate's side will not go away. In comes Palafin. This is probably just to activate the Palafin for later.
Yeah, but I get it. To be fair, you kind of have to at some point.
Yeah, and now Pate basically sacks his Garchomp.
Right. I'll pause here. Like, and this is very minor, and I'm probably being very nitpicky. I don't agree with Megaring only because just in case FaZe fucks up and clicks Power Whip, they should always click Hyper Cudgel because it doesn't get hit by Rough Skin. You're better off just letting them hit your Rough Skin just in case they don't click Hyper Cudgel like they should. They should do, but just in case they make a mistake or U-turn.
Yeah.
But if that's really minor, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it would have mattered.
In comes Palafin, but the Rindaberry is not helping at 40%.
No, not for a second.
Zoroark here gets its Illusion Pop, but it was obvious it was Zoroark at this point.
Yeah.
In comes the real Koger now.
And it's just gonna die.
Lives a flamethrower,
that's rough.
Gets burned.
That is rough, to be fair.
But Metagross
I think it matters a lot.
And Metagross takes any hit this puts out.
Okay, honestly, I kind of sort of respect the predict. I don't get the point of switching now. You're gonna die anyway. I respect the prediction, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're predicting, but I kind of agree that Moltres is not staying in. So yeah, I don't hate the prediction actually.
Yeah, I mean, a thing to note at this point, it would have been better just to sack Koger just to get Rotom in safely after, even because you have a Terra Rotom, and now Rotom's just gonna die when it comes into hazards next time. Same with the Zoroark right now. So
yeah, so this is over.
Yeah.
Just all the monsters die to hazards.
Yep.
This is why Garchomp got so many kills.
Yep. Rotom with Terra Steel survived. survived, but since it levitates over the rocks, but yeah, didn't matter at the end.
Yeah. But by the way, this is why I don't use an analyzer, because Sorok fucks the kills so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Especially the Sorok game. Don't use an analyzer for it. Do it manually. If there's a Sorok in the game, just do it manually because it fucks the kills so hard.
Oh yeah, it definitely does.
But honestly, yeah, Pate lost us in prep. Like, if they brought Hazard removal, they might have had a better chance. But FaZe is one of the better players in Wooper as well. So it was a hard matchup for Pate.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately. So I don't really want to be mean to them because them. Sorry, I don't want to be mean to them because it didn't. Honestly, I think they lost it in prep. I don't think there was anything in the game that was that bad. They did. Maybe some places could have been better, but it was lost in prep.
Yeah. Not bringing removal versus a Garchomp is a choice.
Yeah, especially Gen 9.
Yeah.
Gen 8 and before, fair enough, because it was much more offensive. But now it's as defensive as it is offensive nowadays in the draft.
Yeah. Now we are at NGNL versus Grimace. NGNL leads Quagsire, is scared of a grass move and Terra's here, my guess. Synchronizes and gets his Quagsire toxic as well.
I'm trying to think why Terra Bug here over Terra Grass.
Probably Lando.
Oh, yeah, good shout, because it gets poison moves.
Yep, here come...
Oh, and also U-turn as well is actually a real thing here.
Yeah. Lando has Stone Edge though. And Quagsire sacrifices itself by getting a toxic on Lando as well. In comes Terrapagos. They spin,
Nice switch.
Yeah, they spin here, so nice switch from Grimace. No static here onto Dragapult.
I don't think a single Zapdos got static off this week.
Yeah.
Because Hamburger didn't get a single stat. I'm going for Zapdos didn't get a single stat off against me this week when I faced Hamburger.
Yeah.
Quagsire gets the kill. We like to see that.
Zapdos lives one
That
nice
is
beam.
That's defensive Zapdos through and through. Probably for death as well.
Yeah, I think it was better from what he showed me. Scizor versus Darkrai. Scizor goes for the Bullet Punch, just in case. Because this Dark Pulse was a roll.
Mm.
Because this is also a max spit of Scizor.
Yeah.
So,
And you have no other switching either, so...
Yeah. In comes the Sylveon.
Oh, this is quick attack, isn't it?
Yep, it's quick attack.
I like that. That's very nice tech.
Now we get into a situation here. Registeel starts setting up. Registeel clicks Roost first turn, which is okay since Registeel did not click Body Press. And now we start Heat Waving here.
I think that's your best play here at the moment until you
Yeah.
can switch out. You basically stay in with Zapdos. The power is actually kind of, well...
It is...
Oh, it did get stacked.
Yeah, the para is actually kind of worse because the burn from her Heat Wave would have probably been better.
Yeah. Because for those who don't know, our body press is affected by burn.
Yeah. And now we get into a situation like, okay, this Registry isn't gonna get parried. Here is the misplay from NGL. He clicked Roost. Here. What he should have done is click Heat Wave. Because this body press kills him now.
Yeah.
And this Registeel from the Heat Wave damage, he should have known this Iron Moth is not going to kill with a Fiery Dance unless it gets parried. If the Heat Wave came through earlier, this Moth would be in such an amazing position now because it gets a Spatak. But this Registeel gets through para and Earthquakes it, and Iron Moth dies.
He probably sweeps with the Iron Moth there. I also to be fair, I think even without the Roost, he dies. So I kind of I get why he went. Okay, so this is one of those I get why he went for play. Because if he gets powered, then that means his Zapdos lives 1, maybe 2, depending on rolls. But I think you're right in saying the safer players go for Heat Wave because then it guarantees Iron Moth kills it and you're in a better position.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad play, but I think the better play was what you said.
Yeah.
By far.
It's like a rare thing to see NGL make like such mistakes, but
I don't think it's a massive mistake, but I think it definitely is a mistake if that makes sense.
Yeah, because like if they get through, like, what do you do against this Registeel? Like, they have to get Terrapagos in now to kill with Earth Power.
Yeah. And they can't afford to shift the Rapid Spin either.
Yep.
Going Blastoise is an interesting choice in my opinion.
Yeah. This Blastoise breaks Terra Shell. Here, NGNL clicks Rapid Spin, and it looks very good right now for NGNL.
Baseball.
Yep.
Okay, so depending what his other moves are on the Blastoise. Okay, yeah, actually flipped. Actually, yeah, no. Aura Spin is the best move to click, I think. But this is Specs. That's Specs all day long.
Yep.
That's an instant Specs. And yeah, this is not going to be able to do much damage to Specs.
Yep. Here comes the Scald, and in comes Dragapult. This is a modest Specs Dragapult. And he locks himself into Fire Blast. Which,
Probably his best move overall.
yeah. Here he crits. NGNL told me after, because in the moment he was very pissed about the Fire Blast because he thought it mattered, because he thought he lived to. That's before he knew this Dragapult was modest. Because modest Dragapult 2-shot this anyways, if it hit 2 Fire Blasts.
Yeah.
Here comes a crit from NGNL side. Also a crit that doesn't matter because Dragapult would have died to 2 anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Crit for crit.
Yeah, Grimace hits 3 Fire Blasts in a row, which seals the game.
This is going to seem like a very dumb question. How much does Choice Specs, Quick Attack Sylveon do to Dragapult? I don't think it gets it in range, does it?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't. I'm doubting it's it. I don't think it's a kill hit, to be fair. But just in case, I'm pretty certain on that one.
The problem is I don't because the Dragapult is at 67, right? If they switch to Terrapagos gets 2 hit, and I don't think the Sylveon will do 67 with a quick attack.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's what I thought as well in my head. But I was just like, I can't out. If it was lower, then maybe the play's switching. But
like, I don't know if
because I think Sylveon.
Like, I can open.
I don't think Sylveon's got enough attack for that. Double check, but I think it's probably doing 30-40% the more I think about it. Maybe a crit, but even then, that's a very risky play to go for.
It does at most, like, with neutral attack in nature, does 29 to 34.
Oh, okay, less than I thought. Okay, yeah, never mind, never play them.
And I don't think they had attack investment based on how much damage they did to Lando, honestly.
Oh, no, I definitely don't think they do either. I think even if it was adamant, I don't think it kills based on what you just told me, so...
Yeah, like, I have the calc open, like, from 0 attack, Pixelate Sylveon quick attack does to 0 HP, 0 defense, Dragapult does, like, 29 to 34.7, so yeah, I don't think there's any way NGNL wins that endgame.
Yeah, not without miss. Which is possible, to be fair, but...
Yeah, like, if a miss happened, NGNL, I think, won. But yeah, obviously no miss happened, so cannot blame that on anything else. I feel like the big thing was just the misplay on the Zapdos.
Yeah, the Zapdos, it's a misplay I get, to be fair, but honestly, I think it cost him in the game.
Yeah, because, like, how much does, like... I'm not quite sure. Does Iron Moth at a +1 hit KO the Blastoise?
If it has Energy Ball, maybe.
Let me see.
It does get... Actually, because I don't know if Discharge or Energy Ball's better. I think because I know it gets Discharge. I don't...
Energy Ball would one-shot a Blastoise that is non-defensive.
It did feel defensive, to be fair. But...
If it is only max HP, it's a 50% chance to one-hit KO. Let's say after the 2 spikes. Yeah, guaranteed one-hit KO after 2 layers of spikes. Let's say it's max Spadef as well. Max Spadef, it has a 31.3 chance to one-hit KO. So yeah.
Okay. And also at that point, then actually, to be fair, you can then definitely play I think you can definitely get stuff in range as well.
Yeah, based on...
Because they're not...
I think also based like if you look at like how Lando popped against Sylveon, I think the Lando doesn't survive a fiery dance.
No, I don't think it does. Not for a second.
So
And also,
wait,
to be fair as well,
so would the Moth just have one straight up because it's with booster speed it's faster and pulled, right? Yes,
it'll have Dazzling Gleam as well.
yeah, and so if Angelina had Dazzling Gleam plus Energy Ball, I think he wins if he actually does the right Zapdos play down.
And even then, to be fair, even if he just basically gets like a bit of chip on if he gets a bit of chip on Blastoise might be in range for a quick attack. Probably sack one. He can, or maybe actually depending if he gets to a Blastoise and let's say Landorus does even live one, Landorus will be a lot weaker. So Sylveon can just come in,
Yeah, exactly.
does get a quick attack. You can probably then do something that basically where then switch out, then come back in and hit Hyper Voice and kill Dragapult without having taken chip because it probably lived a Fire Blast on an if it's got enough HP.
Yeah,
And you have to click Fire Blast and then game with Dragapult versus those two because you can't click Shadow Ball. So,
by
yeah.
the way, sorry for the viewers who were rambling on it. He's just my boy, and I'm sad he lost.
Mm. But no, actually, I think this is generally good analysis. To be fair.
Yeah. So, for next time, click the Heat Wave. Don't roost.
Yeah, just consider say what the best option long term is in the game.
Yeah,
But also, yeah, there's no point roosting in front of a if you're a flying type, don't roost in front of the one that's sick body press because you'll lose.
yeah.
Your model will die.
At this point,
Unless you're Drifloon, then.
like, I'm gonna ask him for his pace probably, but I feel like if this Moth had Dazzling Gleam and Energy Ball, I think it just won here legitimately.
I feel like he would bring. I feel like Dazzling Gleam's a good bring in this matchup, especially with booster speed because it's super effective on the two mons you're not fast out with boosters. So I feel like he brought it.
Yeah, then it just depends on if he brought Energy Ball or Discharge. Like, pretty sure he brought one of them, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You didn't ask
Fourth
me
move
for
would be
help
Sludge
this week,
Wave.
so I literally cannot tell.
Oh, he might have brought Bug Buzz as well, actually, over Sludge Bomb for the Mew.
Could be.
If it gets Bug Buzz, I feel like it does.
Anyways, before we ramble on more about NGNL's game, we have Riptide versus Brahmi, aka Rose.
Oh, I think this is the one game I didn't watch this week.
It's a little rough on Riptide. We have this immediately.
I was half expecting Calm Mind Contrary again.
Oh god. No, we immediately have a special attack drop, which
Which is very helpful.
yeah. In comes Meloetta. Terra Fairies and Sludge Bomb into Poison.
And that's AV as well, by the way.
It might not be. Meloetta has just straight up a lot of special, like very good special defense.
Oh, no, that's just my gut, because Enamorus is very strong, to be fair.
Yeah. In comes Runerigus, gets a T-Spike off. Chili comes out. Meowscarada comes in. Which is Boots.
I will say this. Riptide's team is definitely very weak to Toxic Spikes, and people are taking advantage of it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will say this. He's also had a fucking tough schedule as well for Weaver as well.
Oh, yeah. Here, Meow's now Willowed, so Meow is pretty much just there to get up spikes.
Yep. Can't click Flower Trick either into the fire type as well because it's Protean.
Yep. Savali goes flying. In comes Slowking, which is also Boots, takes a massive hit from that multi-attack. Ouch, because a multi-attack stays Ghost.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, I agree with sacking Meow there.
Yeah, same. It's burn. It's not gonna do that much anymore. Skarmory starts Iron Defensing up, and in comes Kyurem.
So this is Specs.
Yeah, this is very likely Specs or Scarf, and the Kyurem misses out on the kill. We don't know if this was a roll. I don't think they even calced it or anything, so.
I feel like it would have been like a roll, but roll in Skarmory's favour. That's just a gut, though.
Probably, yeah. Like, gut feeling wise, should be like that. They parry the Scarm now, and very, very smart click Psychic Noise before Scalding again to
that's
deny possible roosts.
that's a good play on their part.
Yeah. Scarm goes down.
Crit might have mattered, but
Did not. 25 was what the Scald did before.
yeah. Okay, yeah, fair dues.
Yeah. In comes Screamtail, which is Booster Spadef. And it starts Calm Minding.
I don't hate that plan. Probably their best player at this point.
Yeah, they wish up. Explosion happens. Which,
Okay, Explosion's wild.
a multi-attack Ghost would probably have been better straight up, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like multitask Ghost does more.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Screamtail picks up another kill here. Runarigus protects to get the poison kill. Very smart pressed Wish here to get back HP on Meloetta after.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Problem is, actually, I lean towards its AV, by the way, because there is a GU in the back, and they're Terra Fairy.
The U-turn here, hard into Tusk. Tusk comes in on all of the hazards. It's booster attack, as we see.
But
Endure is clicked,
it's
but
over.
Riptide clicks Rapid Spin. They crit even.
Crit's
Another
interesting.
Endure happens, while Riptide bulks up.
This is a tricky endgame.
Also, this whole chat lock. Remember the chat lock for the endgame.
Oh, fuck.
Here comes a Trailblaze. Trailblaze does nothing. +1. Headlong Rush kills. And at this point, you would think this has close combat and just wins because it's a +1. But no! Choose faster. I'm gonna kill myself. Fuck's sake. Riptide made a mistake here. They are not fast enough.
They must have been max bulk. They must have been max, like, HP max attack.
Yep. Funny thing is, if you look at, like, the Rapid Spin crit did 41. That was before a bulk up. So, this is a 29 now. So, after the bulk up, I think a Rapid Spin kills. So, what Riptide should have done, instead of going for the Headlong Rush, click another Rapid Spin. Which probably would have killed the
Agreed.
Tauros. And then you would probably be fast enough to outspeed the Chi-Yu and kill it.
I get why they didn't think of that, though, because, I mean, I kind of get it, like, because they know it's not Scarf, but then again, also just check your set just... that's one of those moments where I check my set just in case.
Yeah.
But I'm also very, like... I also, like, this is the stuff when I'm prepping, like, before games, why prep takes me so long sometimes, because I'm like, I don't want to be calculating mid-game. I want to calculate before the game.
Yeah, and here we have a situation now. I'm really thinking, okay, Riptide still wins because he has Hyper Voice. They don't. They have Focus Blast.
Yeah.
And now we get to...
And of course they miss.
Remember the chat lock earlier? Are you serious? It's Jover. They miss another Focus Blast. And now,
Ben.
Ben. What the fuck, man?
What the fuck, man? I'm so sorry. See you on Clodcast.
I'm going to crash out. Are you kidding me? I just need to hit. I bulked up specifically because I'm SmackDown Tusk, so I need the +1.
Fucking hell. You know, I was going to say that Saka's taking your crown, but no, Riptide's taking your crown, because Jesus Christ, like, this season, you're somehow the 4th most unlucky player, because Hamburger's been more unlucky than you as well.
Yeah. Thank God. I don't want the crown back. They can keep it.
Yeah, because what the fuck has been Riptide and Sak's luck this season? Sak especially, I know he sounded arrogant after his game, but genuinely, I feel like he could have actually won all of his games if he didn't get unlucky. And I think Riptide's been in a similar spot as well as some of the games. But if he didn't get unlucky, I think he lost the terminal without luck. But the other games, he's had some fucking abysmal luck.
Yeah. On to the other Whooper games. Talking about Unlucky and Zach. Zach had a little bit of bad luck versus Flower. Potentially could have won against Flower, but that's all up to it. Eternal beat Metasus, which we see. Icarus Storm got a FF win versus Penis because Penis has been MIA again. So, we're trying to get a hold of him, but it is kind of... life is just getting in the way of them.
And we really want to play with our Penis.
Yeah. We have Shazam versus Savage Raccoon, and Savage Raccoon could not stand up to the offensive presence of Arcanine, Hisuian, and Lando Eye, which I don't think a lot of people can.
No, it's very hard to stand up to. It's a very powerful one. The Gamer game was basically the game that basically made gamers snap and go like, Relic can go to fuck, and Tauros just went ham on their team.
Yep. Relicanth missed a head smash again, so... yeah, I don't think Relicanth is getting all of those kills.
Oh no, he said he was dropping Melicant as well. I think he's had enough of it.
Oh yeah, Grimace and the Grimace, Engineer, and Pate Cartel game we saw. But now, for a little surprise, because the guy thought he might not appear, but Han, we're still calling you out. It's Han versus Shibi.
So for context,
Shibi took over for Smoliv. Smoliv had to drop for
do we want to give
personal reasons. I'm gonna give a little bit of context here. Han and Smoliv traded Arboliva for Togekiss for Primarina. And in exchange, Haunt lets Smoliv get like a lot of kills with Arboliva. Haunt backed out and said, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know why. Probably scared of repercussions or something, but I don't know. And Smoliv...
I think they said they needed the death. By the way, if I knew this deal was going on, I would have said no to the trade. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Smoliv then dropped, not because of Han, for other reasons, and Chibi took over. And Chibi had to use Smoliv's team for this week. They have now a different team. But yeah. Oh jeez, I forgot to turn off the sound.
Fucking hell, man.
Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. Here comes Arboliva, and for some reason Han goes for over prediction.
It's Terra Ground, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the Arboliva just kills with Earth Power.
So this is a pause moment. This is probably because I know Arboliva, but hover over it a second. Like, okay, it's leftovers. As someone who knows Arboliva, you just switch. Like, I think even a fire move's not killing there. If he went for a fire move, I don't think it killed, because this for death is like fucking nuts. I honestly, you just switch heat run, in my opinion. That's not knowing Arboliva as a mon, not respecting what it can do. Well, it's not going to kill. It lives stuff, like especially.
Yeah. Jirachi well prepped with Rocky Helmet. The Tom Pass comes out. They are not U-turn here, just for Rocky Helmets, which is actually a nice bring. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good bring.
The Jolteon can just freely click Volt Switch, by the way, because it's Terra Ice, so Garchomp cannot switch in because it doesn't have a Yachi Berry.
Yachi Berry?
In comes Garchomp on the Earth Power. Takes a good chunk. Toxic's the Arboliva. Alluring Voice comes out, which does a shit ton.
This is what I mean by like, see, there you go. I don't think Horn even said didn't even know he got it, so I don't think Horn actually respected the Arboliva, which caused a bunch of problems. Like, because now it's gotten 2 kills because of that.
Yep. In comes the Togekiss, and you can see a para coming, and if you know Togekiss, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Air Slash. Air Slash.
This. Honestly, this is going better than it normally should do here.
Yeah.
Oh, right, Loki. Here's what you should do here if you're Haunt, by the way. Get the fuck out. Switch. Depends on what's on Megalophony, but you're basically playing a game you're going to lose here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a flinch wall with a fucking Togekiss, you're going to lose it.
Finally, some
And if it
skillful
has triple
gaming.
axle,
Exactly, Blue.
yeah.
Here we know that was Zoroark. Chip was ready to
Yeah.
sacrifice Jirachi. In comes Okidogi. Nice predictive
predict.
Sponge. Back comes Megalopunny or Zoroark. Zoroark,
Yeah.
as we saw. Because Megalopunny has damage on it already from the Rocky Helmets. Here comes the Giga Drain.
That is some damage.
Yeah. In comes Jirachi, and Haunt doesn't
Close
get
one, that's right
up.
play there.
But at this point, there's, I don't think, a lot Haunt can do really here. Thunderwave misses, which unfortunate, but I don't think really changes the result because, as you can see, this Togekiss is bulky enough.
Yeah, it's doing like no damage.
Yeah. And yeah.
And that's just basically dead.
They just roost here. Now they go Roaring Moon because they know this is probably locked into Shadow Ball.
Yeah.
They are faster now because
So
it's Parad. Click Dragon Dance. Zoroark still clicks Shadow Ball, which means, okay, there's choice. And Roaring Moon clicks Earthquake here. Lopunny goes for the fake out. Crits, so would put it in quick attack range if they had it, but they don't. And Roaring Moon clears up. Very nice game by Shib. That's why we skipped on the Quagsire stats earlier, which we're going to go to now.
Yes. Do you want me to quickly remove the game from week 6 a second?
No, it's fine. I can adjust it so they don't see it.
Okay, awesome.
There we go. So yeah. Me versus Bree1 we watched. Roy nuked Hamburger.
Honestly, that's the unfair way to put it. Like, so for context, there was quite a few crits in the game. The first crit was against me, and I literally remember messaging Dakota like, for fuck's sake, it's gonna be one of those games because this Mary Camera crit my switching in Hatterin that was AV, and it put it in range of a roll like Earth Power. So I was like thinking, oh, it's gonna be one of those games, yada yada. And I get great testing on Zapdos. I click Stone Edge and it lives. I'm like, right, that's defensive Zapdos. We know that. So I go into my Raging Bolt, and then my plan is to basically keep it low and then switch out to something that can kill it once it's low enough with a Jetpack Draco. So I hit the Draco, knowing it won't kill it, and then it just dies thanks to a crit. And I'm like, well, that definitely mattered.
Yeah.
And then end up in a scenario. I was Scarf Mimikyu this matchup. Because it was actually really good incident with Scarf. And I'm only against the Porygon, which is Toxic, because I needed Toxic to keep it in range. I get one crit with Drain Punch. I get a second crit with Drain Punch. I haven't counted if any of those mattered, but I'm pretty sure at least one did. Only one might have mattered. I might not need a second one on one of them, but one of them at least definitely mattered because Porygon 2 is bulky as heck.
Yeah. As you can see, the next game, Skitty versus Jeffuka, is a double FF because they failed to schedule in proper time. Shibi versus Haunt we saw. Then Jakoto versus Harry we saw. Terabyte versus Cry. You can see 3 back skills. Terabyte's team not being defensive enough to withstand the offensive onslaught of Cries. Blue beat the other.
And basically, Terra's wash, basically.
Blue beat the other undefeated coach, Bloop, so no more undefeated coaches in Quagsire. 4 kills Cinderace, very well played as well. And Will versus Rena we saw. Now then.
Yeah.
Now you should probably remove the game for the standings.
That's what I'm just doing now. A second. That's why I was getting onto my laptop.
Yeah.
Right, let it load. Okay, cool. Right, ready to go.
Okay, let's get into the standings first. Currently, in Cloudzyre, in last place is Fluvy at 1 and 4 minus 5. Then it's Emilia at 1 and 4 minus 5. So Fluvy's 1 and 4 minus 7, sorry. Then in 14th is Fury at 2 and 3 minus 8. Then it's Starman at 2 and 3 minus 6. Then Swangery 2 and 3 minus 4. Nut and Aaron are tied for 10th place at 2 and 3 minus 3. Then we have Zep at 2 and 3 minus 2. BGC at 2 and 3 minus 1 and number 8. Order is 3 and 2 minus 2 at number 7. Martin is 3 and 2 minus 1 at number 6. Embiid is 3 and 2 0 at number 5. King Crypto Nate is 3 and 2 plus 7, tied with Arrow, who's also 3 and 2 plus 7 at number 3. Then Sage Spike is 4 and 1 plus 12, and the only undefeated coach in Cloudzyre remaining is Taco at 5 and 0 plus 16. Then we go to the Quagsire division. Well Owl, the only winless coach remaining in Quagsire at 0 and 5 minus 16. Then it's Terabyte at 1 and 4 minus 14. Then Skitty at 1 and 4 minus 9. Then Harry 1 and 4 minus 8. Shibby 1 and 4 minus 6. Haunt 2 and 3 minus 4, tied with Hamburger at 2 and 3 minus 4. Then it's Roy at 2 and 3 minus 3. Then we have me at 2 and 3 minus 1, currently in 8th place. Then it's Jfuka at 3 and 2 plus 4. Then it's Cry in 6th place at 4 and 1 plus 6. Blue 4 and 1 plus 8, tied with Renna for 4th place, who is also 4 and 1 plus 8. Bloop is 3rd with 4 and 1 plus 9. Freebon is 2nd, 4 and 1 plus 10. And Jakoto is currently 1st at 4 and 1 plus 14. And then we get to Whooper, where we still have 3 winless coaches. Penis and Pate tied for last place at 0 and 5 minus 19. Then Metasus at 14th, 0 and 5 minus 15. Riptide is 1 and 4 minus 9 and 13th. Savage Raccoon 1 and 4 minus 6 and 12th. Alicent is 2 and 3 plus 0. Rose is 3 and 2 minus 2. Gamer is 3 and 2 0, tied with Icarus. For 8th place is also 2 and 3 0. And then we have Terminal at 7th, who's 3 and 2 plus 4. Cartel, Goku fan, aka Richard, at 3 and 2 plus 6 in 6th place. Grimace is 4 and 1 plus 7 in 5th. Kwani is 4 and 1 plus 8 at 4th. And Janelle is 4 and 1 plus 11 in 3rd. Shazam is 4 and 1 plus 14 at 2nd. And Flower, only undefeated coach left in Whooper at 5 and 0 plus 20. Jesus, that's a differential. Yeah, so
That's an insane differential.
yeah, Taco and his therapist being the only remaining undefeated coaches. On to Mons of the Week. So, for Cloudzyre, and number 3 is Arcanine Hisui. And Arcanine Hisui belongs to... forget the team sometimes. It belongs to Taco. Then we have Palafin, which belongs to Order. And Iron Bundle, which belonged to BGC. Then in Quagsire, at number 3, we have Cry's Cinderace. No, that's not Cry's Cinderace. It's Blue Cinderace. My apologies. At number 2, we have Mega Scissor from Jakoto. And at number 1, we have my glorious King Tornadus T, hitting all but one Hurricane. Very important. Then for Whooper, we have Engineer Sylveon in 3rd. We have Terminal Hydrapple in 2nd. And we have Tauros from Kwani in 1. Technically, Hydrapple should be 1. But since Tauros is such a low tier mom, we gave it to Tauros this time.
Yeah, honestly, there was like Whooper was a lot tougher. I picked him by the way this week. There was like about 6 or 7 ones on 3 and 1, including Tornadus again was actually in contention for Clodsire as well. But I went with the 3 low tiers that I felt did the best. 3 lower tiers that did the best, and Hydrapple, Sylveon, and Tauros were the better ones in my opinion.
Yeah. Then we go to Kill Leader. So for Claude, the current top 10 are Electro Hisui with 7 and 4 at 10th. Garganackle from Fluvy's Electric Hisui, by the way. Aaron's Garganackle at 7 and 3 in 9th place. At 7 and 2, Luxray from Sage Spike. Tied with 7-2 Iron Moth, also from Sage Spike, for 7th place. And then again tied with the Diancie from Nate at 7-2 at 6th place. Then we have 8-2 Landeros Eye from Zard. Spectre from Star Maiden is 8-1 at 4th. Gyarados Mega from Nate is in number 3 at 9 and 4. At 9 and 3 we have BGC's Iron Bundle at number 2. And first place is Arrow's Greninja currently at 11 and 4.
I just want to say, getting Electro Hisui into top 10 is fucking impressive.
Yeah, that is. Especially in like Luxray and Electrode are nice picks in there. Then for Quagsire, in 10th place is Cry's Baxcalibur at 7 and 2. Then at 8 and 5 we have Iron Valiant from Rena at 9. 8 and 4 is Bloop's Serapagos, who's in 8th. Tied for 6th place are currently Cry's Greninja and My Torn T, both at 8 and 3. Then Cinderace from Blue is at 8 and 2 at number 5. Then Lele from Brebon and Diancie Mega from Bloop are tied for 3rd place at 8 and 1. Skitty's Kilowattrel is 9 and 4 at number 2. And Jakodos at 9 and 4, sorry. And Jakodos Nihilego is 9 and 2 and number 1. And then we go to Wooper, where number 10 is Rose's Quaquavel at 6 and 1. Tied with Salazzle from Gamer Not Found for 9th place, who is also 6 and 1. Then Landorus Eye from Shazam is 6 and 0 currently at 8th place. Cartel's Metagross is number 7 at 7 and 3. Grimace's Mew is 7 and 2 in number 6. Savage Raccoons Iron Thorns is in number 5, 8 and 4. Sylveon from NGNL is currently 4th place at 8 and 3. Torn and Overquill, both from Flower, tied for 2nd place at 8 and 2. And number 1 is still Sandslash from Allison, aka Zach, which is still 1st place overall. Yeah, and now we get to Roy's segment.
Woo! Let's have a look. Right. I just want to add as well that my Mimikyu is now 29, so it's closing in on top 10 kills. So you never know. I might actually win the bet somehow. I'm not going to, but we might win the bet.
There's still 4 weeks
I
to
actually
go,
got
and a
two
lot
kills.
of mons that get more kills on a regular basis than Mimikyu.
Listen. It's now technically my kill leader. It's tied with 3 other mons on my team because I'm spreading the wealth too much. But listen, there's still a chance. I'm like 4 off it. Onto the pick'ems. So we're going to do the top 5 for pick'ems this week. So let me just double check who's in position. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, so So in 5th place, as it stands at the moment, is our lovely owner, who we do love and we don't hate you, Pate, I promise. Pate. Then in joint 4th, it's me, Sadie, and Gamer Not Found. Then in 3rd, it's Rose and Taco. In 2nd, it's Aaron. And in 1st place, once again, it's time for the third Seb cameo of the video, Seb.
Exactly. Or should be asked that we should do our pick'ems live. We're gonna do that next time. Because we already did our pick'ems and it would kind of defeat the purpose of doing it live.
Oh, what do you mean as in like...
Yeah, we should do who we think is gonna win each match.
Oh, yeah, good shout. Because to be fair, this week as well, it was really funny. Because there was a game that happened earlier. I'm not going to say the result. People already know, but like it was just like really funny because I was there like, well, the only reason my pick is on the winner is because I basically left it there for people to pick and no one picked it. Like, right. So it just looks really funny. Like no one picked them to win.
Oh yeah, and they also said we should do a game of the week. And for this week, personally, for me, it is the game that is showing up on screen right now. It's Aaron versus Nate. I think that was the closest game.
I agree.
And it was a very well played game from both sides.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You could honorable mention goes to NGNL and Grimace and Wooper. I don't think Quack had any too close games, but yeah.
I'd say game of the week in Quag is probably
Bull versus Rena. I would say probably.
No, I'd actually say the most entertaining game was probably your game, actually, if anything. I think that was the most fun to watch.
Oh, thank you.
That's right. I was
Anyways,
going to jokingly say mine, but I don't want to mean to Hamburger.
yeah,
Hamburger doesn't deserve that, but yeah.
yeah. Anyways, this was Clodcast Week 5 recap. We're gonna be back with Week 6 recap next week, obviously. Currently, there might be some people eliminated from playoffs already, but it is still like a close. Mathematically, they're not eliminated yet, but yeah. As we move closer,
Pate, Penis.
Pate, Penis, Metasas, and Will Owl, I think, are like the ones that are probably eliminated, but they're still mathematically not eliminated, so we will see.
And I'm not going to confirm anyone for playoffs this time until I'm mathematically certain I've learned my lesson.
Exactly. Anyways, Roy, any last words?
Yeah, I just want to say the Mimikyu train starts here. I actually won this week, and I'm back to haxing people. I'm going to try and not hax Ben because that's mean, but everyone else, I have no qualms about haxing you.
Exactly. And we're off with that. Thank you for watching. This was the Week 5 recap of CPL. We are the Clodcast, and we wish you a good time. Goodbye.